We'll go right to number 11, which is we're going to receive the annual report from the Planning Commission. Mary.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Mary Lou Johnson, and I'm the Chair of the Planning Commission. I also would like, for the record, to acknowledge the Planning Commissioners. They are Vice Chair Kevin Chase, Rick Biasotti, Sujendra Mishra, Perry Peterson, and Joe Samut. And of course, I'd like to acknowledge our Council Liaison, Vice Mayor Michael Salazar. Thank you for attending the meetings, and also thank you to all of you who attended meetings, various meetings throughout the year. This past year, we've had significant projects before us, and the first major TCP project was the old El Camino Theater. Now, my goodness, all of us were pretty excited when that was moving forward. It's long on the list. Staff worked diligently with the developer. Permits were pulled late 2014-15, and demolition is now completed. Currently, it's scheduled to be completed somewhere in 2017. And I'm going to walk you through just my intent of my presentation is to walk you through a bit of the last year what took place, and so that was one significant one. Another significant one, this project has reflected many changes over this past time that it's been on the board, and it was primarily impacted by economic times. However, it does reflect current conditions, and the amendment to the U.S. Navy site and its environment-specific plan. The Planning Commission recommendation for approval was on August 18th, 2015. It reduced hotel site area from 5.5 acres to 1.5 acres. It's a 152-room within a 5-story hotel and a 3,000 square foot of meeting space. Now, this is going to be a great addition to our community. There are many local communities that just really need meeting space, so this is going to be a great one. It's also a very pivotal location. You know, San Bruno is now on the map, and it is location, 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 and that's what we're about. The Planning Commission looks forward to having the opportunity to work with this project. The next slide shows a significant activity on Crestmore, in the Crestmore neighborhood. There will be 10 replacement homes, and architectural review permit was approved by the Planning Commission on March 17th, 2015. The site preparation and construction is underway on 9 of the 10 lots, and it's expected for completion in early 2016. I'm also pleased to report on the housing element. And the housing element was last updated in 2010 in that area. There was analysis of the community's housing needs, resources, constraints, and opportunities. Also, there are goals, policies, and programs for housing and implementation and action to be taken by the city. And created also an emergency shelter overlay district. The next update, I have to say this, it's 2023. It seems like ancient times, but it really is only 8 years away. And the goals for the zoning code were up. This is the updates for those areas. The Planning Commission will be reviewing the code language and make recommendations to the City Council. An adoption of a zoning code is anticipated by the spring of 2016. Code update to reflect new regulations, community vision, transit corridor plans, and general plan. This will bring the zoning code current. The last update was in 1982. So it's definitely a comprehensive direction. And then the goals for the 2015, we're working carefully with staff. It's really been a pleasure to be able to work with staff and want to look at that climate change. There's going to be measures to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. And in the near future, a study session will be held with council in the coming weeks, so you'll be notified. Keep your calendars open. Also, adoption of the plan is anticipated sometime in the spring of 2016. And looking out, into the future, projects anticipated to come before the commission for consideration. We expect that the hotel at the crossings, 150-plus rooms, select service hotel. The Glenview Terrace, 30 single-family homes. And we have the 841 San Bruno Medical Office Building. The first, the next one is 1250 Grundy Lane. That's the Bay Hill office. And right now, it's the San Francisco Police Credit Union that seems to be aiming for that area. The 1250 Grundy Lane, I'm sorry, I already said that. These 4 top ones are basically, they're in the works. And then the next 2, 271 El Camino Real. There's 20 to 24 new apartments. That's the old Lee's Buffet. And then Skyline College, 62-plus residential units. There's going to be a mix of detached and multi-unit buildings. Includes faculty and housing as well, so that's going to be an exciting project. And we're working with staff in these areas on projects that are on the horizon. Interest in the office expansion within the Bay Hill Business Park. Development opportunities within the TC plan area. And then general residential development opportunities. And San Bruno, as I mentioned, is on the map, and people really want to move in this direction. And the tech sector is expanding in our area. So absolutely, we're going to need more housing. The good news, and I'm really happy, it's one that I have watched for years, is the 111 San Bruno Avenue. Can you guess which one that is? That's the old First National Bank. So that has sparked some interest. So that's an exciting direction. And the staff has been contacted by interested developers. So in closing, on behalf of the Planning Commission, I would like to acknowledge staff for their professionalism and excellent work. David Waltreen for his knowledge and intelligent leadership. One thing that you may not know about David is that he's a really thoughtful person, and there are small things that he does that I don't think a lot of people know about. And when there is a special event or acknowledging someone, he comes with his bag of goodies. There's napkins and cups and utensils and treats, and he sets it up right back in this corner. And it's very indiscreet, and he's just really thoughtful about it. And I really wanted to acknowledge you, David, for being so kind, not only to the commission, but to the community. Thank you. And I also want to thank you, the City Council, for your policy direction and your excellent collaboration throughout this past year. There are peaks and valleys in all that we do, and I really recognize, and on behalf of the Planning Commission, acknowledge your hard work and your leadership within our city. It shows, and I'm proud to be part of that. And the Planning Commission looks forward to continue working together in 2015-16. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Mary, thank you very much.
You're
And to the
very
rest of the commissioners, I always say that commissions, boards, and committees of this city are the lifeblood. People don't realize you're all volunteers. And I had the privilege of serving on the Planning Commission before I became a council member.
Yes, you did.
With Mary and a number of the other members that are still there. And tonight, we hope to get your 7th member in place, which you're going to need going forward because you have a lot of aggressive, very busy work to do. I want to see David supply some treats for the council once in a while. It would be very nice, now that you let the cat out of the bag.
Well, he's our leader.
Anything else for Mary?
Mr. Mayor,
Ken?
Mr. Mayor, interesting how you say that. We're going to look to get a new member on the commission tonight. But there are 6 members on the Planning Commission, and you being one of them, who are so experienced. And the longevity of this group working together through many staff members over the years, over 20 years now, has worked so well together. And
Thank
through
you.
significant changes in this community, and the fact that, and as a design professional, I don't see that in other communities. And that the Planning Commission and the City Council work well together, and especially with staff. And I also want to congratulate David for not only the treats, but how you've come into this community well recommended. I know what town we stole you from, and you've hit the ground running, and right in the middle of many, very significant and important projects. But Commissioner Johnson, please pass on to the rest of your colleagues that we really appreciate all the work that you've done over the years in all the significant projects that you've been a part of, and it shows.
Thank you, Mr.
And-
Ibarra. I appreciate that.
I'm not
And I will
the mayor.
happy to share that with
Thank
my
you.
colleagues.
Good. Well, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful presentation. We look forward to all that's happening and going to happen in St. Bruno.
And so do I.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.